Well, good morning, YouTube. Hey, it's funny. I was returning home from our 5-day, 1,500-mile trip to Zion, basically. We really didn't have a destination plan. We'd get to, point A and decide where point B was, that night. But anyway, so on the way home, I was thinking, before I unpack everything, I should show what I took along on the trip to help make things a little more comfortable. Then I fire up YouTube and I see that Big Rock Moto did the same thing. Hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to show you what I took along on the trip, what I did not use, what I did use. I've done a few moto camping trips, so I know it's really common to overpack, and I tried not to do that. Of course, you're always going to have safety gear, right? You're going to have tools, you're going to have tire repair stuff, you're going to have things like that you don't want to use. So, that's the whole idea, right? But you have to have them along. Do you want to travel without tools to a remote area in the desert? Because that's where we went. We were dispersed camping in the middle of the desert. No, you don't want to do that. Do you want to not have tire repair equipment? No, that's probably not a good idea either. So you have to bring those things along, whether you're going to use them or not. So I would say probably some of the heaviest part of my gear was my tools and my tire repair equipment. I'll post a picture probably right about here of the bike fully loaded, and it's going to look like there's a lot on it, but really there's not. So yeah, let's look at the bike. Actually, before we look at the bike, I have Revit Dirt Series gear on. Got it from Revzilla. Is this gear made for riding on the road at 90 miles an hour and falling down on asphalt? Probably not, but it's super comfortable. It fits well. It has armor. I wear an armor that has armor, elbow, shoulders. I put a back pad in it, a real back pad. And I wear an Under Armour type shirt underneath and a t-shirt. And then on the cooler days, I threw on a base layer, this on top, and I was fine. We were in temperatures from 30 to 82 degrees, and this worked well. On the coldest days, which was also the rainiest days coming back, I threw my raincoat on the outside, and I'll show you my rain gear that I pack along when I go on trips. And that blocked the wind, blocked the rain, because it said waterproof. It's not really waterproof. Maybe sections of it are, but not all of it. But yeah, it's really comfortable. I like it. It fits well. What can I say? It was not on the low end of the scale, but it was not on the high end of the scale as far as price goes. Somewhere right in the middle. And I needed some gear that I could ride off-road too on my Himalayan and my KLX in the wintertime, and this will work for that. I have the Forma Adventure boots. I have some Tech 3s. And Tech 3s would provide probably more protection on off-road type stuff. Should I have worn my Tech 3s? Maybe. Would I wear my Alpinestar Tech 3s or a boot similar to that if there was going to be more dirt than we had? Yeah, I think so. The Formers work good. They just don't have the ankle support, I feel anyway, for off-road stuff on especially big girls like this. Even with Tech 7s or Tech 5s, you can still break a leg. I think somebody out there knows all about that. So yeah, what I do when we head off-road is I just tighten them up, and that seems to help as far as with the support. And I guess you can try to be cautious that you don't have the best boot on, but why not just wear the best boot, right? Not necessarily the best, but one with the best support that still allows you to function on basically a street bike. Motocross boots, obviously for braking and shifting, get a little more difficult. That's why I wear these, because I can still feel shifters and brake pedals and things like that. Helmet. I have a Scorpion XO950. Has a Cena S3 intercom. Great helmet, fits my head, it's comfortable, it's not noisy. Is it the best? No. Is it the worst? No. Does it work for me? Yes. Gloves. I took along 3 sets of gloves, and we'll look at them closer here, but for the colder, I have these waterproof MotoGP. gloves. And then I have some BMW branded gloves that are a little bit lighter weight, but they are leather. They're in here somewhere. And then I have some Climb motocross gloves, lightweight for off-road type stuff when it's really hot. I didn't even get those out because we never really rode when it was really hot. Our temperatures were perfect in my opinion. We were right at 60, 65 the whole time, with occasional dips at night down into the 30s. I think one night it got below freezing. Wasn't too bad. We'll look at the camping gear when we get to that point. I didn't get cold, so I don't know. I slept pretty well. Occasionally woken up by coyotes and owls, you know, in the desert, but that's, I mean, what more can you ask for? That's perfect. So yeah, that's the gear, boots, Revit Dirt Series, helmet, and we'll talk about the gloves a little bit later. Let's look a little bit at the bike. So I went with the Moskomoto rackless system and my top case. I was going to go with just the rackless system, and there were some things that I was bringing along on this trip that I wanted to be able to lock up. And you know, some of those things you just don't want to leave unattended if you go into a store or something like that. So anyway, the Moskomoto bags were amazing. I bought those so I could fit them on any bike that I own, and they will fit on any bike that I own. Obviously, I can't use that if my wife's going along, but this was not a wife trip. This was me, my son, and a friend from work, and just out riding to ride, you know, camping to camp. Anyway, so yeah, the Moskomoto rackless system. I did not use the included duffel for the top. It just wasn't big enough. And so I stepped up to a 40 liter, but I only put maybe 30 liters of stuff in it. I believe the bag that comes with the Moskomoto is a 20 liter, and it just wasn't quite big enough. I think they should include a 30 liter with that. But anyway, but yeah, this gear is amazing. I mean, this is my first experience with the Moskomoto stuff, and there's nothing negative to say. The gear is super stout. I have the aux pods on the back, and I'm going to get the water bottle carrier for the front there. My friend that was riding with me has the same setup, except he had the front bag, the front little MOLLE mounted water bottle holder on the front, and that came in pretty handy. Have a giant loop tank bag, love it. Unzip it, flip it over, fill up with gas, take it off. It has backpack straps. It just works good. It's completely waterproof the way it is. No need to put a bag over it. Zip it on and go. I use blue tape. You may notice if I show you some of the photos here, you'll see the blue tape here and blue tape up here to prevent the straps from scratching the paint. What else? So we got the standard GV small, smaller of the top boxes. I don't know how many liters that holds. This is basically my gear. So a bag for each side of the holster, and then my tire repair and toolkits are in the smaller auxiliary pods, which go behind that in here. And the 40 liter dry bag, which I put underneath the beaver tail, which the beaver tail is amazing. It does allow you to lean towards overpacking because it's just so handy, and it just, you know, I'll show you here in a second, but you can unstrap it, throw something in there, strap it back down, and be on your way in a matter of seconds. 2 tent pole bags because I have a table, and the table is as long as that Tusk tent pole bag, and I didn't want to try to force it in any of these bags here, so it has its own bag. The legs and the tent poles are in the Moskomoto bag. I just threw those under the beaver tail with the 40 liter bag, which again was only packed to 30 liters. And then I have this small bag, which was the last bag I packed for the things that, will I need this? I don't know. Should I take this? Probably. And I just lashed that to the top. It doesn't weigh much, maybe 3 pounds. I lashed it to the top of the top case. And what else? What else? Well, we have this clamp-on guy here for holding a water bottle. bike really isn't. I mean, we've talked about the bike in previous videos. It's, I mean, I left the racks on for the GV hard cases, which my son used on his bike. You'll see maybe in a future video. Kind of funny, you know, BMW Motorrad on a Honda Africa Twin. So people will freak out, I'm sure. And the Moscow bags fit just fine with the racks in place. I thought about taking the racks off to make it narrower, but you know what? It wasn't that big of a deal. Bike has basically GV crash guards, ricochet skid plate, Pug wind deflector, which works great. We have a headlight protector from the UK. I forget the name offhand. Lights with a Hex Easy Can system. Oh, and yeah, tires. The tires on the bike are the Shinko 804 805s. They worked fantastic. I have about 5,000 miles on these tires, and I don't know. You can look at that and see for yourself what's going on there. I got to thoroughly test them in the wet and off-road. Coming down, we came back from like Anza Borrego area, Palm Springs area, and came up a road that's called 7-Layer Hill, working our way back up to Anza, and that's when it started raining really hard. I think I did 7-Layer Hill going up the hill at probably 50 miles an hour with the bike in rain mode, and no problems at all. A little less lean angle than I would on dry, but and it was no big deal. The tires did great. My friend from work, he was on the KTM 1290. He has the Mitas EO7 Dakars, front and rear on his bike, and no problems with him either on the wet, cold. And we were holding a pretty good pace as far as, you know, rain goes in the twisties. So yeah, no issues with tires on either of those bikes. Africa Twin was running Shinko 705s. No, sorry, Pirelli Scorpion 2s. And no issues with that bike either. Actually, all of the bikes. We had a KTM 1290 Adventure. We have this GS 1250 Trophy. My son has my old Africa Twin. All the bikes perform flawlessly. Not a single problem. Everything worked great. I'm the only one that fell down. So yeah, and the crash guards. I mean, I was in sand. It was early in the morning. We took off. We were in deep sand. Of course, I don't know why, but I was always on point. And I got to find out, you know, the places we shouldn't go. And that was one of the places we shouldn't have went. And we did, or I did anyway. And it fell down on the left side. No big deal. The guys ran up. We picked it up. And we're on our way. But if you're going to travel on big girls, always travel in groups of 2 at least, because picking it up by yourself would suck. I can do it here on the floor, but in that deep sand, I would have had to completely unload the bike, then pick it up, get it out of the sand, get it to stand up, and then load the bike back up. It would have been a pain. But with friends along, yeah, pick it up, go. So that's what we did. Let's see. Yeah, so I guess we can start unpacking and see what's actually in these bags. Okay, let's talk about what's in the top case. What's behind door number 1, Monty? I don't know. Let's move the helmet so we don't knock it off, though. We wouldn't want that to happen. And by the way, the Moscow stuff, the stuff isn't really connected. I just set it back up there. I had to get under the seat of the bike to work on something real quick. And so I had to remove this. I'm going to go ahead and take it off now. This is actually the beaver tail I was talking about that allows you to really overpack some stuff. So this guy will come up, you put your, whatever you're going to put here, and this guy's going to come up here, you're going to clip this in here, and then that holds that in place, which my dry bag was here. And now we have another set of straps we can bring up top and secure tent pole bags, and you know, maybe your jacket that you don't want to wear, your layer that you had on, or your raincoat or whatever. Anyway, this is just an amazing setup here. You can get these, just this section, I believe, from Moscow Moto if you want, and mount it up here and use it as just the beaver tail itself. Anyway, we're going to pop this off. Set it over here. It's not very heavy. I do have these little ox bags on both sides here. Forgot to talk about these earlier. Have the BMWs have a little aux port down here, right there. You can plug this in. You can get USB power. It's for my wife when she's in the back. I just keep it in that bag. I could probably put my tire plug kit and my air inflator in there. In fact, I might do that going forward. Let's see here. First, on top, shoes. Gotta have shoes. Shouldn't drop the shoes. I know Ian was like throwing his stuff on the ground, but I'll try not to do that because I think some people were offended he was throwing things. Just kidding. Anyway, shoes, camp shoes. Not scorpion proof, but camp shoes nonetheless. These are little 20-liter dry bags that come with the Moscow kit. In this one, I have food. I did Mountain House exclusively. Didn't have a single thing that tasted bad, in my opinion. What do we have in compression sack? Compression sacks are a must, I believe. Let's see what this is. It's Christmas. What do we got in here? Okay, so this is my tent. And it's a Big Agnes. And this one was a Blacktail 2. Recommended by Dork on the Road. And purchased with his link from Motocamp Nerd. Tent's amazing. Love it. It's going to work great going forward. And I replaced the Kelty, which actually I gave to my son. You might see it in a future video. The Kelty I've got a lot of hours on, and it's still in pretty good shape. Anyway, Mountain House stuff here in this bag. We had breakfasts, and we had meals for dinner and lunches. We normally would hit like a gas station, have good old gas station food. Garbage bags. Always bring a garbage bag. Bring your crap out. Don't leave the crap in the desert or wherever it is you may be camping. This is a bag that came with my MotoFizz bags, which are a product sold by Aerostitch. This bag would normally clip on the side of their bag. It's a duffel that goes in the back of a motorcycle, and I use this for, toothbrush, toothpaste, nose spray, hand towel, deodorant, all that good stuff. Oh, and got to keep the cigars or whatever they want you to call them on YouTube. Anyway, so yeah, toiletries here. Normally this would have been in that bag. Johnson head to toe cleansing cloths, basically baby wipes. This is your best option for a bath when you don't have a bath or a shower. I happened to shove my pillow in here. High Couture, ultralight pillow. This thing is it the best pillow in the world? No. Is it better than the one on my bed upstairs? Maybe. It's pretty good. I mean, this makes camping that much better. You should do it. It's little, it's light, it weighs nothing. Get one. You'll like it. Couple of flasks. Notice it's empty. I think those might have come from Motocamp Nerd as well. Tube of slime. You never know. You might want to slime something. None of this stuff is actually really heavy, so there wasn't much weight in here. The heaviest thing is still in there. This is a first aid kit. Normally this goes in my backpack, but the backpack's inside. I have a Climb backpack with the water, 3-liter water bag in it. And then we have a ton of rock straps. Because we found wood, we would strap it to the bike so we'd have firewood. Springfield 1911 magazines. And that is what was in the top box. So, with that done, let's explore the other bags. Yeah, it's bad for me, but I like Coke Zero. Okay, let's go with, I have this 40 liter. I have this 40 liter Earth Pack bag Nothing too elaborate, nothing too expensive. This came from Amazon. I don't remember how much it was. It wasn't much. It worked perfectly in the beaver tail. And like I said, the one that comes with the Moskomoto is a 20 liter. She's about this long, and it's amazing what a couple inches will do. Speaking of a couple inches, this little hammer is also from Amazon. It's from China. The Chinese have an interesting, let's see if we can get a little close up here. Interesting marketing group, you know, a lot of their products, a lot of the companies. I don't know where they come up with the name of some of their things, but this is a Sundick hammer. It's hard. It pounds things in. So, you know, highly recommended. Sundick works great. Let's do this and see what's in here. Christmas present number 2. We got here, yes. The blanket that I actually didn't have to use. Get Out Gear double puffy blanket. This thing is amazing. It'll take any sleeping bag and add easily 10 more degrees, you know, on the negative scale for warmth. And it works as a poncho too because it has snaps. You can put it around you, like if you're just walking around, you're cold, you can snap it, wear it, wrap up in it. I have a couple of these. My wife has one, I have one. They're good. They're really good. Yeah, you need to get one of these. This goes along with that pillow. You just need to have that. It doesn't weigh anything, and it smashes down to basically nothing. Yeah, I know. We're carrying too much stuff. What did I have here? Oh, I had a pair of sweatpants, which I won't be taking sweatpants anymore. I'm going to just switch to polyester lightweight stuff that compresses easier. The sweatpants they're bulky, and, you know, along with the hoodie that goes with it, it's in here somewhere. I believe this is my sleeping bag. It's a Big Agnes. Yeah, he's in there somewhere. I'll get the brand and put it in the description. It's, I think, good for 30 degrees. These are built so that a sleeping mat actually goes inside, not inside of it, but in the back side of it, that has a stretching cavity that the mattress pops in. And you really can't use this bag without a mattress. It's not designed that way because the bottom, the part you're laying on, actually isn't that thick and not very well insulated. So you need a pad, and an insulated one preferably if you're in an area where it's going to be chilly, to go inside or inside the pocket that's in the back side of this sleeping bag. I never got cold. I think, like I said, it got down below freezing one night. I don't know that I believe the thermometer that was hanging off of the KTM, but it recorded the low, and it said it got down to 29. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think it was that cold. But anyway, it was cold. But I wasn't cold until I got out. The pots, pans, and cups from Sea to Summit, Moto Camp Nerd stuff. Amazing stuff. This, I don't know if you've seen these, but you know, it's all collapsible. It carries like this. All these pots and pans have metal bottoms, so you can put them on your stove. There, in each one of these, there's a pot, a bowl, and yes, you can warm that up. You cannot warm up the coffee cups. They don't have a metal bottom, but this one has 2 of everything because typically it's me and my wife. So, you know, we kind of need 2 bowls, 2 cups, unless we share these things. And then this, you can actually use to heat up your water or whatever it is. It's a good sized bowl. Look at that. The top, you can clamp on with these little flaps, and it actually has built-in strainer. Kind of cool. So, you know, if you're boiling or cooking something in there, and you say you got noodles or something, I don't know, you're making mac and cheese, yeah, and then you want to just dump the water out. It's perforated here, and yeah, this is really cool stuff. Wasn't cheap, wasn't really expensive, but I mean, what is when you go to lightweight camping stuff? Nothing is going to be cheap that's actually going to last, right? And you can see it collapses all pretty quick. Of course, I say that as the last one fights me, and I struggle. Back together. Anyway, let's set that over there. Those flaps just clip back on. And the place the rain gear probably shouldn't be, the bottom of the bag. This is Frog Dogs, and this is the raincoat that you could slip on over the outside of everything. They work great. They weigh nothing. They will compress down to basically nothing. Can't recommend them enough. They work really good. They're kind of a ripstop material. Let's see. Let's take one out here. This is probably the pants, but nope, jacket. So it's kind of a weird rubber impregnated ripstop material. I don't know that you can really see, you know, if the camera's focusing on that or not. But it's fairly tough and 100% waterproof. And like I said, weighs nothing and packs down to basically nothing. It probably should be more accessible, though, if you're riding in the rain, not at the bottom of your 40-liter pack. But mine happened to be hiding where I couldn't access it. So anyway, let's move on to the next bag. I mean, who needs sweats anyway? The bag, those kind of last minute ideas. I don't know if the last minute, excuse me, ideas are still in here, because I did repack and reorganize for stuff that I don't believe that. Although the last day I may have shoved some things in here that I was actually using, but this was basically there's the BMW branded leather gloves. I wore these for most of the trip. They work great. Basically got those for free when chin mount for the GoPro, which I did not wear. Didn't feel like messing with the GoPro. I did run the GoPro 360 cam though, and got some footage of Zion. Maybe we'll make a video. A battery. The motocross gloves. Tweezers, toenails, fingernails, things like that. Didn't use that. Probably don't need to take that again. A Molly loop. Earmuffs. It wasn't that cold, but I didn't know. A couple spare carabiners. And that's that. Oh, and then the mascot for the trip with this miniature Tauntaun. Inside here we've got a battery that I used to, it's a almost a 2400 or 24,000 was it milliamp battery that I use to charge smaller batteries and other items. And I've got USB cables in here. This was one of those things like, should I take it? Do I need to take it? But anyway, it's a jump start pack for a car, but I'm sure it would start a bike. It has its proprietary charging cable, which I think is a really odd idea, but it's NOCO, GB40 NOCO Boost Plus for jump starting vehicles. And I've tested it, it works. I charged, it was charged, and I thought, you know, what if one of us in the desert leaves a key on, or for some reason we wake up and the bike's dead, you know, this might have come in handy. It doesn't weigh that much, and it was kind of one of the things like the tools. It's not something you want to use, but it'd be nice to have if you have to use it. So yeah, let's move this stuff aside and see what's in the other bags. Door number 3. Let's make a deal. Okay. Okay, one of the bags. Let's see what we got going here. This is, now I know a lot of you guys are probably looking at this going, holy crap, you took a lot of stuff. Something you got to remember, we were going dispersed camping in the desert. We had to pack food, we had to pack water, we had to pack first aid, we had to pack communications. I have an inReach. We had to pack ways to recharge those communications and cameras and phones and things like that. So really, it's not that much stuff, and I was comfortable, and that's all that really matters. I wasn't uncomfortable at all with the weight that was added to the bike. I normally ride the bike with a 115-pound wife on the back and the gear, And I had even less gear because I didn't have my hard bags. I had the Moskomoto stuff. And I don't know, I could probably add it up. I bet the gear was less than 50 pounds. Not including the luggage itself, but the actual gear was probably less than 50 pounds. So this is the Ultra Air Core Big Agnes bag mattress, actually, that goes in the sleeping bag in the back, like I was describing earlier. And what do we have here? Another stuff sack. So yeah, those are the only two items in there. I probably could have packed more in there, but I didn't have anything else to put in there. What do we have? So this is my clothes. So yeah, the sweat hoodie, sweat jacket, custom World of Tanks beanie that my daughter made for me. It's pretty warm. I wear this sleeping. And then, yeah, the other clothes, which, you know, t-shirts, underwear, socks, things like that. And that's all that's in that bag. Ew. Bag number 2. GoPro stuff, batteries, rechargers, cameras. It's all in here. Another flask, and sadly, yes, it's empty. Stick that with the other flask. Keep them together. Flask should not be alone. My extra paracord kind of came unraveled somehow. A toe strap. This, I was talking earlier about, you know, having to haul water. So this is a collapsible giant loop water bag. It's a 2-gallon one. You can fill it here. And then you can hang it from whatever, the motorcycle, a tree, a branch, and in the bottom there's a spigot. Pretty cool. Highly recommended. You can thank Dork in the Road for that one. Thing is awesome. I think I might have got that on Amazon. What do we got here? Spare tent pegs. This is the airbag. So these are funny. This is the airbag that comes with the air mattress, you know, and you're supposed to dance around and catch air in here and roll it up and then squirt that air in your mattress. What this is good for is putting your dirty clothes in. We're not going to be dancing around trying to catch air in the desert. Just, it's not my style. This is a chair, collapsible chair. I think this may have, excuse me, come from Amazon as well. Which one is this? One Tigris? They work good. We've had those for a couple years now, and no problems. And some people that have sat on them are, you know, thoroughly testing the weight capacity, if you know what I mean. So jet boil, coffee press, fuel. This is really all you need. There's no need to have a stove anymore. This does everything. I'll show you what I mean. Obviously, you can clip the, take that off, of course. Clip the burner to the bottom of the cup and, you know, boil your water. And yes, it boils water extremely fast. Or you can buy this add-on, which will turn the stove into, or the burner actually into a stove, and these fold out. Then you can put your pot on there for heating, whatever. It's also a coffee press. This all collapses. And obviously, you saw me remove it from there, so it all goes inside. This goes to that. This goes here. There's your screen for, you know, doing your press stuff. But yeah, this thing's badass, and I would not travel without it. It just works that good. You know, that's your stove, your water heater. That's everything right there in that one. Well, it's big around, but that's a good thing. It holds, the capacity is great, right? And then a can of fuel. I think I have an extra can of fuel somewhere. Oh yes, and a Lake Mead map. Picked that up when we were there. Shows all the campgrounds. We did camp around Lake Mead one night. Kind of a semi-dispersed situation, but not as dispersed as the 2 or 3 nights we spent in the desert. These are cooking utensils or eating or whatever you want to call them. I'm going to replace these with some plastic ones or some titanium ones. There's way more in here than I need. There's a couple metal straws. Wow, there's 3 or 4 metal straws. Some kind of a weird little cleaning brush. Don't know what that does. This is something my wife got from work for free. So anyway, there's a butter knife. It's small and it fits in this little pack, and it does what it's supposed to do. You know, it takes food from, point A to point B. And what do we got here? Oh, yeah, little lantern for hanging in the tent. You can charge it with solar if you want, or you can plug it in and charge it. And if you plug it in and charge it, it also has a USB out. You can use the battery in it to charge your phone. And it's plenty bright. Again, this might have come from Motocamp Nerd, or it may have come from Amazon. Don't know. But it does what it's supposed to do. It does beacon. It does dim, bright. It's also a flashlight. If you collapse it, boom. Yeah, so this worked really well. Really happy with this little guy. And let's just move on to the tank bag. I mean, what's there to talk about in a tank bag, right? Everybody has a tank bag, right? And you know what goes in here. And the top is my National Park pass and some change, don't know why. An aluminum plate that mounts in the back of one of my products from work. And you say, what is that for? This is to pop out and throw under your kickstand in the sand. Weighs nothing, fits perfectly right there. Does what it's supposed to do. This is the battery I keep in my tank bag for charging the phone or charging this or that. Energy QC worked really, really good. I highly recommend it. It just does what it's supposed to do. And another Amazon thing, probably the most important thing in my gear. Headlight, spare sunglasses, tissues, goes along with that. Lots and lots of Advil. The Itchy Boots Dickie, scarf, whatever you want to call it. A multitude of USB cables, because it seems like everything uses a different USB cable. Can we just standardize on C or something, people? I mean, come on. Safety glasses that are magnified, because I'm old. And if I have to work on something, I'm going to have to put these on, and so I can see what I'm doing. So that's why they're up here in the tank bag. Manual registration. This actually goes in my toolkit. This is it's a tool that fits in the hollow axles on the Africa Twin and this BMW, and I think on the KTM as well, with the various sizes, 17, 22, 24, 19. You can put a 3/8 drive in here. You can put a wrench on this end, stick that in to hold the axle when you loosen the nut on the other end. I'll keep that out because I need to put that in the toolkit. Windshield and face shield cleaner. Strike Anywhere matches. Hopefully they don't, go off in my pack someday. Would be interesting. I don't know why this is in here, but this has an aux plug and then it has alligator clips. So I don't know. This is the little rechargeable air pump. What is this called? Flex tail gear? Yeah, I like this little guy. He inflated everybody's mattress 5 nights, so, and she's still ready to go. Luckily, we didn't have to fan any fires. We started a fire. Things went up like they were dipped in gasoline. We were always able to locate an old dead chunk of Joshua tree, and any of you guys out there that are familiar with lighting a old dead Joshua tree on fire, I'll know what I'm talking about when it said caution, dipped in gasoline. Receipts, more receipts, another receipt. Oh, and this cool little light, another Amazon product, but it works great. We bought these 2 years ago. We take them everywhere. It's a light, 2 different intensities. It's red, and it's flashing red. And it'll flash red for 7 hours. I've tested this one. I have 2 of them, and I've tested them both. Oh, look, here's the other one. So in case of some kind of weird emergency, you've got some flashing red lights or lights, or you can just clip it to whatever you want, you know, have a light. BMW guys, I would suggest carrying one of these around. We got halfway through the trip and up popped on my screen that my key fob battery was less than 50% power, but still had functionality. So replace your battery every year and carry a spare. I believe this is a 2032 lithium, CR 2032 lithium battery, and this is for the BMW 2023 BMW key fob. Tums and things like that, in case your stomach says, screw you. Lighter, fire source. Yep. Another flashlight. You never can have enough flashlights, you know. Fire starter, primitive fire starter, just in case. Scrape off some things. Light them. Kind of fun to play Boy Scout. Quarter. And that's about it in the tank bag. Oh, you know what? Another BMW thing. That's not it, and probably the most important thing in this tank bag. Well, maybe not. I always carry the dongle, ODB Link LX. Amazon, yeah, I think this came from Amazon. And I bought basically a disposable, not really disposable, but who's this? It's a Nokia Android phone, because this only works for Android. They don't make one that works with iOS. Or maybe it's not it's the app that I use to actually connect to the BMW. So basically this gives me ODB connection to the bike. If I need to troubleshoot, I have to use it when I change the oil to clear the oil nag, the service nag basically. And yeah, if it throws a fault code, I have to use this to figure out what the fault code is to help troubleshoot and diagnose problems. This is a track phone, right? This was like $19. I've charged it once and it's been charged ever since, and it's been over a year because it never gets turned on, which is actually pretty cool. Let's see what kind of battery we got left after a year. Probably should charge it up. It says 96% battery still. Maybe not. There's ODB Link and Moto Scan. So yeah, for you BMW guys, you don't want to mess around with that expensive setup. You get this little guy, ODB Link LX. Comes with the ODB, or you can actually download the ODB Link app to help connect to this, and then Moto Scan tool will help connect to your BMW. So, yep, that all works for diagnosing issues with your BMW. And we're powering off. Thank you, phone, for being so kind. That's it for tank bag. I don't know, do we really need to see what's in the tool bags? This video is going to be forever long, but we are looking at every single thing that I took on the trip. And this is obviously the stuff that I didn't want to use and I didn't use. And let's just take a peek. I don't know if I need to drag it all out. A clump of paper towels. More paper towels. You just never know. Oh, hand warmers. It's kind of emergency stuff in here too, I guess. More hand warmers, fire starters, and then now we're going to get into some tools. Yeah, we've got USB, aux USB stuff here. We've got grease, axle grease, and we have tire mounting lube. In case we had to remove a tire and put it back on, that's so much better when you use a little lube. What do we got here? Okay, that's all that's in there. Fantic X8, tire inflator. Made sure it was charged before I left. Thing's amazing, works great. What do we got here? Oh, tire repair. The rasp, the plug installer, I actually have some patches in here, little end nips, tube of glue, some little vice grips, a tool to use to pull the valve core through the rim on the tubeless or tube type rims, which my son's Africa Twin has tube rims, so I made sure I brought things to accommodate a tube bike. And what's in this guy? I think this is basically just my toolkit. Oh, a spare fuel. Probably didn't need that. And yeah, the toolkit. So that's, and this is probably the heaviest thing that, don't even forget, I need to put this in my toolkit. And I think we've looked at this in a previous video. There's a lot of stuff crammed in here. All the wrenches, sockets, Torx, Allens, steel stick, JB weld, end nips, ratcheting, screwdriver, tire tools, electric tape, vice grips, zip ties, lightweight wrenches, regular wrenches, a T-handle to clip onto an extension that has the Torx on it to remove the back wheel of a BMW. Yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff in here. And look at this. When you get old, you forget some of the things that you've purchased. And in this toolkit already is this. This is the one I bought thinking I needed one. Anybody need a tool? Anyway, so yeah, spare. I'll just put this in the main toolbox over there. But anyway, there you go. That's I think that's everything other than I don't really want to get the table out and set it up, but there's a table in here with legs and the tent poles. You might see the table in one of the videos in the future, or if I can get a small clip and include it with this video, it'll be in there. Is it a lot of stuff? Kinda. Did I need all of it? No. Didn't need extra fuel. Obviously didn't need any of the tools, which that's a good thing. Didn't need the fire starters. Could have left those here. I could have used these hand warmers. Forgot that I had them in there. I mean, paper towels are paper towels. Tire lube goes along with a toolkit. You just got to have those things, right? Toolkit for our tire kit, tire inflator. So the heaviest part of my kit, basically all of this stuff, was definitely my tool, my tire repair stuff. And then this guy, I mean, these don't weigh that much, but excuse me, that was probably not needed. I didn't know that everybody would remember to bring their fuel. So I tend to bring enough in case someone forgets something. Got an inReach. Used it pretty much the entire time so the wife could check on us. The buddy that was riding had a spot. We have a quad lock with a vibration dampener here, a Garmin GPS here. Geez, I don't even know what else there is to talk about. Other than the camping trip was awesome, and I'm ready to go do it again, and I'm going to leave some of this gear here next time. Well, I won't leave the toolkit or any of this stuff. It has to go no matter what. Probably won't take extra fuel. Probably will take less clothing. Definitely will not take sweats. Definitely will not take hoodies. Those things they're bulky, and when they get wet, they're heavy. It's just, you need to find a better option than hoodies and or sweats. But yeah, I don't know. I think I only took what I needed, and it wasn't that bad. I really wanted to travel without the top box, but like I said earlier, some things you just have to lock up, and so I tossed it back on there. Let me know what you think, and you guys ride safe and camp safe, and I'll probably see you out there.